Hey y'all, what's going on? This is my recap and review for the Real Housewives of New York City, season 15, episode 1, which is entitled Apple of My Lie. Let's get into it, y'all. Okay, so I was really excited for the season to come back. We unfortunately didn't do the cast looks or the trailer. I take that back. I did record my thoughts on the cast looks in the trailer, but the audio on said recording got all messed up, so I wasn't able to upload that. So yeah, I do apologize for that. However, next week, episode 2, if we have time today, I could try to hit the looks, but if not, we'll definitely get into it next week. So just wanted to put out that disclaimer. But anyway, y'all, how are you doing today? I'm doing phenomenal, and I'm so happy to talk about this season of RHONY with y'all because according to that trailer, I think it's gonna give. I do think it's gonna give. But yeah, if you guys are just coming into the room, don't forget to hit the like button. It helps me on my channel in terms of the algorithm. It helps me attract new subscribers such as yourself. So go ahead, hit that like button for your girl, please, and thank you. While you're at it, if you are not a subscriber, go ahead and hit the subscription button. I don't know what you're waiting for, but become a Barbers babe. We have a lot of fun down here, and I would love to have you. So hit the subscription button, and while you're at it, also hit the notifications bell so you know every single time I make an upload. And in the comment section below, I would love to know how you guys feel about this episode, what your guys' thoughts are as far as how you're feeling the season's gonna go. Are you excited to see all the ladies back? We do have all the ladies back, as well as one new housewife, Racquel, and then we also have Rebecca Minkoff that has came on as a friend of. So a lot to unpack here. Let's get into it because I unfortunately do not have that long. So this would be a little bit more abbreviated than I normally do. But as I said before, the episode was titled Apple of My Lie. And there was definitely a lot of lies being hurled. There's a lot of fugaziness, if you will. Yeah. It was evident 2 seconds into the episode. And I say that because we are thrown right into the middle of the chaos. June 25th of this year. This was 5 days after filming had wrapped. All the ladies are on set. They're doing their opening credits shoot. And we hear a lot of stuff getting hurled from Ubah's way. She's going off. And then we get a clip of Brynn and her going at it, which is just like, okay, if I recall correctly, did they have any? No, it was Ubah and Erin that left off with some huge issues last year, if I'm not mistaken. Or no, Ubah and Erin, I think they did, or Ubah and Brynn did share some colorful words, I want to say, at last year's reunion. Y'all let me know in the comments. But I was just like, okay, interesting. They were able to proceed with the shoot and everything, but I was like, okay, well, that's odd. I wouldn't have taken them two as the two to be going at it. That's all I thought at that moment. And then I kind of felt like Jessel and Erin were in the middle, which that's an interesting pair to be in the middle, I feel like, too. Jessel was my girl last season. She was an MVP for me, y'all. If you didn't know, I did recap some of the episodes from last season, so go ahead and check out that playlist. I have it linked. Well, it's not in the description box, but I do have a playlist of season 14, so check it out. Nonetheless, Brynn, I feel like last year a lot of us were really concerned because we never saw Brynn filming in her apartment, and that's a bit odd because we always see the ladies in their homes, and when we don't, we kind of think, something must be kind of not right in that situation. And I feel like it was either one, the apartment just wasn't giving, or I want to say she had came out and said like she couldn't film in her apartment. I'm gonna just have to go with it just wasn't giving, because honey is she is excited to show off this new apartment that she got. And I mean, it looked like a cute place. She's still decorating it and whatnot. And her brother actually comes in town. We were introduced to him last year as well. She has a brother and a sister, if I'm not mistaken. They're super close, even though she's not like, she doesn't have this huge family that she's super close to or whatever. We know she was really close to her grandmother who passed away. But he's in town. He's going to be staying for a month. He lives in Seoul, Korea, actually. And shout out to the 3 people that are in here. Go ahead, like the video, say hi in the chat. But we saw her and him last year and heard about, you know, their childhood, and that obviously is what kind of created the framework for them being so close even now, to the point that she's like hoping to persuade him to come and move back to the States, move back to the city with her. And I did think it was cute how she said the inspo behind her living room was like balls in your face. I'm like, yeah, if there's anything that Brynn is gonna give y'all, it's gonna be a sexual innuendo. And sometimes it's funny, like right here, I laughed, I thought it was cute, ha ha, he, but it is kind of like, girl, I do feel like sometimes she does that to either deflect, or like, I even feel like she's not fully giving her personality sometimes, because it's always like quick to like make a sexual joke. And, you know, I could take a sexual joke just like the best of us. Don't get me wrong. I ain't nobody's prude or anything like that. But it's just like, girl, like, okay, he, ha, ha. You know, like even on Dubai, how Ayan is always showing up in her fashions. It's like, okay, you're wearing a ball gown to play pickleball. Like, woohoo. Like, that's the same vibe I get when Brynn is always like saying some sexual joke. And if I have time, we'll jump into their taglines at the end of this, because even her tagline, I was just like, here we go with the date your dad, uncle, brother, cousin jokes. Like, it makes me want to like, I need to get a sleeping sound. Yeah, because it's just like, like every time she does that, for real. Meanwhile, Jessel and Pavitt, I really like Pavitt, even though, I mean, I didn't really understand why I don't agree with his thoughts on, and maybe because I'm biased, because, you know, I love me some Beyonce, honey. How he was like, oh yeah, I would definitely take Elon Musk if you know, if we're gonna give birth to Elon Musk. Like, first of all, Elon Musk is not even, I'll save that conversation for a different day. So he's taking her on the subway, which she's not a subway girl. She lets us know right off their bat, like she gonna spend some money on an Uber. And by some money, she meant $990 to be exact per month. Absolutely insane. Not my money, it's hers. So whatever. But they go down to Chinatown, and she lets us know that he's become quite the food influencer, the foodie influencer, which we love. We love a good food influencer. I know I do. I actually got to do some food content tomorrow. I have a foodie event, so Pavitt, we see each other. But you know, he got a lot of backlash, and there was a lot of skepticism surrounding him last year, taking that solo freaking less than 24 hours or whatever trip to Vietnam. A lot of people were like thinking that, you know, he was creeping on the low, or something really wasn't right with their relationship. I think also wasn't it like they hadn't had sex in like since before the babies were born, or something like that, or 2 years, something crazy like that. But it seems like they're in a good space. It seems like it's working. Even back then, I feel like when everybody was being so skeptical about things, I still feel like I didn't see any direct red flags or anything like that. I mean, one would say that what I just said is all red flags, but I just mean like their chemistry on screen didn't scream like there was trouble in paradise or anything like that. It was very much like they understood what type of marriage they was in, and it was very much like we see each other, you know. That's how I see it. Anyway, then we see that, or so yeah, we saw them sitting down to eat in Chinatown, and she wants to talk about plans, birthday plans, etc., etc. Apparently, he's been dropping the ball on that ever since their twins were born. And I, for some reason, just, I mean, so are we going to see like some grand, like romantic anniversary, like something between them? I don't know. This season, I don't know why that she said that. Unless we're going to see that being turned around. So, Pavid, I hope you heard her on that one. And then she starts talking about how their embryos are, you know, being stored in Beverly Hills, and they're paying so much money for them to be stored there. And it's just like, you know, our little girls there, like, don't you want to have a little, you know, girl like me? Like, and he was like, yeah, we'll see. We'll see. And their boys are what, like going on maybe like 3 or so now, right? I know her mom like comes in to help sometimes and whatnot, but that's just a conversation they're just gonna have to figure out and come to terms with off screen. I hope that's not gonna be like some major feud between them for the rest of the season. Like I did see in the trailers. No, actually, yeah, no, I did see in the trailers. Is somebody supposed to be pregnant? That would be interesting if it's her. We'll see. Anyway, moving right along, Erin and Ubah, they meet for lunch. They seem to be in a good place, which is good because, like I said earlier, them two was definitely going at it a lot last season over, what was it? Erin pushed Ubah in the pool, and then her phone wasn't working, or Ubah pushed Erin in the pool, and then Erin's get back on Ubah was for her to hide her phone for like 30 minutes. Remember how all that stuff went left? Where I can't even remember where they're vacationing, but everything went left between them last season. And now we're seeing that they're able to, you know, move on. They're able to, you know, still build on the friendship. I think Erin said that she talks to her more than her sister. So everything is good over in their hood. They're joined by Rebecca Minkoff. Rebecca Minkoff is Erin's friend this season. And I don't know, maybe I'm putting 20 on 10 here. I get it. We all tell jokes, y'all. But last week, I saw something along the lines of on Instagram, Rebecca, apparently she was trying to like drum up some type of drama between some type of fake drama. Let me not forget to say the word fake drama between her and Jenna, where like they were supposed to be like arguing about who is fighting over who was like the bigger fashionista between the two of them, or had the better style, something like that. I don't know. I don't follow Racquel Minkoff personally. I have like one of her fragrances, and like I might have like some other like decor pieces. I have like some little trivial stuff from her or whatever. So other than that, I really am not familiar with Miss Mama. So don't get me lying here. And like I said, maybe I'm putting 20 on 10, but it's just like that gave me a bad taste in my mouth, because I hate when people come on here trying to produce the show. I hate when people come on here trying to drum up just unnecessary like trivial drama. And I feel like that's exactly what this show doesn't need, because of the scrutiny that they were under last season. We saw a lot of people saying online how it just wasn't giving, like, let's bring back the OG cast. Like, what are we're arguing over toilet paper? Like, so there has to be this sweet spot, y'all. And I feel like I say this in what I recap RHONY now, RHOA, RHOP, Jersey, Salt Lake City. I think the only ones I don't do are Beverly Hills, OC, and Miami at this point, which I don't know. I might have to jump in on Miami this season. I don't know. Dubai, like, so out of all those shows, I just say that to say there's like this sweet spot that we like to see where it's like were fighting over whose handbag was better, or whose housewarming party was better, or whatever. Like we want to argue over trivial stuff, but at the same time, like it still needs to be like entertaining. So a lot of us that have been watching this show since, you know, OC day one, we don't like to see any fabricated BS is just all I'm trying to say, y'all. So when I caught wind of that, I'm just like, are you going to be on some BS this season? I don't know. Like I said, I like to start off every season with a clean slate. I'm not trying to hold anything against anybody, even Sai. But it's just like when I heard that, I was like, girl, that's exactly what we do not need. Anyway, so yeah, they sit down with her. And Ubah starts to dish on her man. I think his name is Oliver. Things are going well between them. I already knew this because I seen them come across my timeline. So good for you, Ubah. She seems to be head over heels. We'd love to hear it. If you're happy, I'm happy, whatever. And she also says that she wants to start trying for a baby, which is definitely far left for her because she's someone who values her freedom. She like to get up and book a flight and go here and go there and just do what she wants. So just her moving into this space where she is setting her sights on to motherhood is a big transition for her, I would say. And we've only known her for one season, but I can say fully that I guess this is what she wants. This is it for her. So whatever. Are we going to be introduced to him? Like, don't talk about him. Don't talk about the relationship. Don't like let this be a huge part of your relationship if we're not going to meet him. And the same thing with Jenna, because this episode we met her girlfriend's mother, but we didn't meet her girlfriend. What's up with that? So anyway, Ubah's of a particular age. I want to say she's either in her late 30s or early 40s, which I was actually shocked at last year. I don't know. I took her for like maybe like, I don't know, like 35, maybe 35 tops, maybe 35 tops. But mama looks good. And she says that they're going to try for a baby. If it don't work, then they're going to adopt. So I hope we're going to see that journey then. I don't know. Then the energy kind of shifts once they bring up Brynn's party. Brynn's having this dinner party or whatever. And we find out that her and Erin haven't seen each other for a while, which I want to say last year they did seem like they had a good friendship. They left off in a good space, if I'm not mistaken. So I already knew it was some ish because, like I just said, the energy shifted as soon as it was kind of brought up. I think Ubah said she was going to be late, and then they invited Rebecca, and then it was kind of like, well, Rebecca's like, wait, should I come? Should I not? They're like, yeah, come. Let me just pause right here real quick. I should have said this in the beginning, but although I'm still excited to talk about this season, I didn't watch this episode last night. I only watched it once, and that was earlier this morning, so I could do this live for you guys. And in doing so, I just what would you guys rate this season premiere? Like, it wasn't terrible, but I just feel like for me, and maybe because I only watched it the one time, and I was also doing my notes at the same time. And usually I like to do my notes another time and then maybe even watch it again if I'm still kind of like blurry on some stuff. But I was just like, it felt really all over the place. And it felt like I don't know. I couldn't quite follow the story like end to end how I would have liked to, because it was just like all fingers just point at Brynn, which is cool, which is fine. But it's just like, like, what are we talking about? What are we like? What's the problem here? Like, it just seemed very all over the place. But anyway, back to the episode. Brynn, Jenna, and Jessel at the same time are out shopping for Brynn's new apartment. Brynn respects Jessel's, not Jessel. Brynn respects Jenna's taste because, I mean, most of us do. But Jessel, on the other hand, not so much. Jessel's just kind of there for, you know, to be humorous, I guess you would say. Yeah, we'll go with that. Main takeaway here, though, is when they all sit down after Jenna reveals that she has BO. We find out that Brynn had an issue with something that. Sorry, garage came open. That's my husband's home. Wasn't expecting that. Anyway, we find out that Erin and Jeff Lewis had a discussion on, I guess it's his podcast or whatever. And he's like, I think he was on like the show Flipping Out or whatever, but he's always like in the mix with like the Housewives, and like he's always on Watch What Happens Live and stuff like that. If you don't know who he is, always gave me very messy. Always, I mean, I don't particularly care for him or anything or follow him, so whatever. If you do, I mean, good for you. But I'm just kind of confused because I understand the implication. The implication was very much there, where it was like I shouldn't even say they, because it was mainly him that was implying that Brynn is like a call girl or a sugar, like however you want to put it, is somebody that maybe does a favor or two in exchange for monetary compensation. Like, you know what I'm getting at? You guys get me. You get me. But it's just like, he was basically the one spearheading that. Erin really didn't confirm or deny. She was just kind of like, I don't know where Brynn gets her money. But they apparently squashed it, addressed it, however you want to put it, only for it to continue to be brought up by this person or that person. And in this situation, it was somebody that came up to Brynn when she was in Miami that was like, and she didn't really like that. I don't remember what she exactly said. That's why I was making that face. But they said something along the lines of like she'd been like ran through the mill pretty much over this rumor or these comments or whatever. And again, until we get some more validity with that, I don't really know what to think through and through. And then the other half of this conversation was another major rumor, situation, issue, however you want to put it. This episode was how Jenna's apparently broke too, which I'm like, I mean, if she is, she is fooling the out of me, because I didn't know I didn't take her for broke, but okay, whatever. Apparently her, and it was Jessel said this, and I don't know if she was quoting for somebody else, but she said Jenna's hoopty vintage car broke down and Erin offered to call an Uber, and Jenna never reimbursed her for said Uber, which was like $250, I want to say. Brynn remembers it differently. And she was like, Erin was not joking. She was 100% trying to make it seem like you didn't have any money. Erin denies that it happened, because we're getting like a little bit of a split screen right here. So until we get some validity, again, these are trivial things. I don't really care. I mean, if she's broke, then she's fooling the hell out of a lot of us. If she is not broke, then that was stupid on Brynn's part. Erin, I don't put anything past her either, though, at the same time. So it's just, I don't know. I'm really confused, girl. I don't know. Moving along, though. We get Sai from the block. Her and Jessel do a cold plunge. Really liked her confessional look. I like both of Sai's confessional looks. She had 2 in this episode, and I liked them both. But we know that they didn't really have the best time together last season, with Sai coming at Jessel all the way until the finale episode, and reunion, all that. But they're in a much better space. Sai claims she's done a lot of self-awareness, and I didn't watch What Happens Live. I heard Jenna was on there, but I heard that she apparently said that, yeah, like Sai, she did do a lot of self-awareness. She was on a self-awareness journey. She did a lot of personal development, and yeah, I guess that was, we could see that right here. Later on the episode, not so much, which honestly, y'all, if that's her, that's her. If she's a firecracker, she's a firecracker. If she's rude, she's rude. If she's if you're all these things, then stand on it, own it. I respect somebody a whole hell of a lot more if they're just honest about who they are. If you ain't shit, you ain't shit. Like, period. But again, I just feel like, I don't know. Like I said, we're starting off a clean slate, but I don't know. We'll see. I don't know if is Brynn gonna be the only villain this season, or is she gonna be the only person getting her hand slapped or whatever. I don't know. It's so far-fetched to think that, wow, like Brynn, you have really done it then. If you were able, in my opinion, to upstage Sai, because then I don't know. This was not a good first episode for Brynn, at least. We'll say that. Sai, Brynn and her haven't talked, which I did think was a little shocking, because she was over her house last season. They seem really close, even with her kids and stuff like that, Sai's kids. So I do think that that's bittersweet to learn. And I mean, hopefully, I don't feel like anything that's been said so far is anything that can't be worked out. I mean, if you call me broke, if you're going around, call me broke. I don't know. Maybe that's not somebody I want to be friends with. Y'all let me know your thoughts in the comments. But according to her, when things went left, when she went off on her last year, Sai apologized, Brynn declined. So I guess that means ball's basically in Brynn's court. And because of that, Sai is going to attend the dinner party, and we'll just have to see what's going to happen from there. Jenna also, apparently Sai, or Brynn said, Brynn said that Sai was going around telling everybody that she didn't like Jenna. So then that's why Sai asked Jenna. This is what I mean. So it was kind of confusing and just kind of dumb at the same time. And all roads lead back to Brynn, girl. And it does seem a little messy, like you were just trying to cause little fires everywhere between the ladies. And I want to say somebody even said in this episode, oh, it's probably because Brynn didn't like seeing her. Brynn didn't like seeing the other ladies or this person or that person becoming, friends or whatever. And I'm not going to say that's not something that we don't see on an ensemble cast like this. We definitely see people sometimes in the group. Brooks from The Real Housewives of Dubai, if you guys watch that, is definitely somebody who doesn't like to see other people be friends, in my opinion. I'm calling a spade a spade. I don't care. Take it up with your mom, not me. But that's kind of maybe what it was giving as well. Anyway, moving on. This is when we meet Jenna's girlfriend's mom, and she's decluttering her shoe collection. We know that Jenna has clothes, bags, shoes galore. She could send it right on over here. We probably wear about the same size. Hopefully, I want to say maybe, I don't know. Is it at least a 9? Hopefully, I don't know. we're introduced to Racquel, which is the newest housewife. She is a curator and an advisor in the art world. She also puts her artwork on TV shows such as, I want to say she said, And Just Like That, which is the Sex and the City spinoff that I watched Sex and the City, but I never watched a spinoff. So now that just made me kind of want to watch it even more, just like I look in the background and see the artwork. Cause, my husband and I have been curating our own little art collection, if I will. So I like fine art too. And then she also said, I want to say Empire as well. So shout outs to her for that. She also models. She does all the things. She has all the jobs, which I definitely can understand and relate to. But her and Racquel, her being Jenna, they were both married to married men before they got into their current relationships and before they came out. And I guess that's maybe something that obviously bonded them at the time. And now we also find out that Racquel's mom, or at the time, I should say, wasn't too happy to hear that she was getting divorced. She was very much like, are you sure? Like, you want to do this? Like, blah, blah, blah. And she says that her mom actually packed up, and when she went to Puerto Rico, like, she never came back. So their relationship's not in the best pace. I wonder if we're going to explore that more this season. I would like to, because that sounds real. And I don't feel bad about wanting to explore that, because we spoke in great detail about Sai and her mom's strained relationship while she was, dealing with her alcoholism. So what's good for the goose is good for the gander. That's, again, those are the types of real things that people want to see on this show. I'm speaking for the people now. What else? Her partner, Mel, her mom's never met her, or she's never met her as her partner. I want to say they've been together like 12 years. Her kids are really fond of her. They were just friends at the time. They've been friends for a long time, but like, yeah, they're adrenaline junkies, two peas in a pod. Yeah. And she also kind of said that although they were both fully single when they got together, there was a little bit of a scandal, or some people were a little upset. I don't know. Something like that. Something like that, y'all. Moving on, Erin and her family, Erin, Abe, and the kids, they have, since we've seen them last, moved from Tribeca to I want to say they live in the Upper West Side now in an apartment, which her son was not too happy about because he says it's too small. And then she also was like, okay, well, like, why not talk about moving into a condo, but it's going to be a lot of renovations, and there's, this over here and this over here. And Abe actually makes a joke about like, oh yeah, imagine like taking some shrooms and looking at that or something like that. It was a joke. Ha ha, he. I took it as a joke, but Erin just seems exhausting. And I'm not in their marriage, so who knows? Maybe it's something worth being exhausting over. It must be, because he recognized the energy shift, and that she was like, she got super upset about this comment, and she was trying to like police what he was saying on screen on the show. And it was just like, why are you doing all that? Like, what is really going on here? And I know in the trailer we seen that, maybe there could have been some infidelity, like, who knows, which would definitely be like a 180, at least in my opinion, from last season, because we seen them at not their vow renewal, but like their anniversary party or whatever. We saw they seem very much, in a good space and all that. So I was a little shocked by the reaction, and to learn that might not be the case this season. But it was just like the way she like just got so annoyed and stuff. It just screamed like displaced anger. And again, because of the trailer, I know we're going to probably touch on that, even though right here she didn't want to touch on it. So yeah, Racquel's fiance, she has a 17-year-old and a 14-year-old. Her engagement ring, I didn't get a picture, but it's very unconventional, not my style, but that's why I have my own. Good for her. It definitely fits her taste. I'm liking Racquel so far. It's definitely giving New York. She seems like someone who's not afraid to speak her mind, and she didn't seem afraid to jump in and get right to it with getting into things, and I'm cool with that. Moving on to this last scene at Brynn's dinner party. The place was really nice. It was a really nice view. Um, I really like Sai's outfit, something I would wear right now, right today. Erin looked aight. I did not like Jenna's period tampon dress at all, but she liked it. Jessel was cute. And Rebecca's jacket was cute. I liked Rebecca's jacket. You know, I'm always gonna have to critique and say something about the fashions, and I wish I had some photos for you guys, but I will try to have some next week. So to make a long story short, y'all, once everybody comes in and this person starts talking about this person starts talking about this, it again, everything was leading back to Brynn, and somehow it almost seems like either it was just a really bad misunderstanding, game of telephone maybe, or no, it was Brynn really trying to be messy and stir up drama in between a lot of different people. And Sai called her out for it. Erin called her out for it. Everybody definitely said their piece about it. And I don't know how she plans on navigating this, because honestly, at this point in time, it seems like the only person that's not really giving her a side eye or having an issue, even though it doesn't look like it's going to last, is Ubah. And mind you, Ubah came in at the very tail end of this scene, and I was like, girl, last season, I feel like you were MIA quite a bit, and I didn't really care too much for that. Don't let that happen again. Otherwise, and I hate to say this, you don't need to come back for third season then, because we need all hands on deck all the time. It was the premiere episode. It was an all cast event. Clearly, your ass should have been here the whole time. And like, no, I don't even think we're gonna get a part 2 next week to this, because Brynn winds up leaving, talking about like, oh yeah, I'm in public, and it's just like, girl, don't, like, it ain't no fun when the rabbit's got the gun. And although Sai be getting on my nerves sometimes, although I feel like Jenna sometimes doesn't always say exactly how she feels, even though I feel like she might turn over a new leaf this season based on how she's, I don't know, y'all, we're going to have to see. It's just still like, not everybody can be lying. Like, you cannot sit here and look in my face and tell me everybody's lying. They're not. Everybody's not lying. Everybody's not lying on you, Brynn. And it's just like, also, I want to see, you know, I know she's dating and stuff, so I want to see her dating life too. Don't just bring your brother on here, think that's gonna be good enough. I want to be in all your business, okay? But that was the episode, y'all. I was kind of, again, just kind of confused a little bit. And if I'm being generous, I'm being real generous by giving this episode a 7 out of 10. Because I feel like, yeah, like 6.5, 6, between like 6 and a 7, honestly. It wasn't horrible, but it was just kind of like confusing and hard to follow a little bit at certain points. And we didn't really get anything concrete to stand on to know, like, okay, this, like, nothing was really identified, if that makes sense. I don't know. That's just how I felt. Oh, hey, Auntie Bernice. Erin is going to be the victim this season. She's going to take out her frustration with her husband on the ladies. Maybe I kind of think that Brynn's looking a little bit like the victim because of the fact that everybody is pointing their fingers at her. Everybody can't be lying. Like, I don't believe that. Erin, I don't know if she's going to take out her frustration on the ladies as much as I feel like, yeah, it was in that moment between her and her husband, it was definitely some displaced anger. It was definitely, we're going to see it. We're going to see it. Oh, and I also probably should have said earlier that her mom, unfortunately, has been, since we've last seen her, diagnosed with cancer, breast cancer, and very aggressive. And at this point in time, she hadn't told her kids, because, I mean, how do you, like, I don't have kids, but I can only imagine, like, that's never good news to break to anybody, or you don't even want to deal with it yourself. And I did see yesterday that her father passed away as well. So condolences go out to her for that. October Breast Cancer Awareness Month, go figure, which actually a perfect segue to say, if you were a victim or if you know somebody, definitely check my description box below, because Melinda Maria Jewelry, if you guys know, as I've said before, I'm a brand ambassador for them. It's where all this comes from. We have a new, very gorgeous pink pendant that is on sale this month, and 50% of the proceeds are going to cancer research. They partnered with the Susan G. Komen Foundation. So definitely check that out if you're interested. But I just bringing up Brynn's mom, Erin's mom, just made me think of that. And I also have my discount code JANICE, Janice, in the description box below as well, if you are interested. Brynn is going to continue to be the tragic mulatto trapped between two worlds. She's accepted her in the other. That's what I was trying to get at. I don't know if you were in here earlier, Auntie Bernice, but like, that's why I'm like, she's so quick to be like, y'all did your dad, and all these sexual, jokes and stuff like that. And it's just like, again, that's haha, he funny sometimes, but I don't know. I feel like it's a little old at the same time, where it's just like, girl, like, where's the real Brynn? It's almost like maybe like that's a defense mechanism. And I mean, she had a really tumultuous upbringing from birth. So much so that, yeah, her biological parents were not the ones that raised her. We found that out. But I feel like there's a lot more concrete, like real stuff to unpack with her. But instead of doing that, she like hides behind this facade of like the flirty, fun, sexy girl. And she even did that with Racquel, which is something I hate. Like, don't do the fake lesbian stuff. Like, if you really want to get down with the punani, then you need to be getting down with the punani for real. Don't be like, so annoying. And maybe I'm triggered right now because I had this conversation with a good friend of mine this weekend who like also was very much like, girl, I am sick of, these girls out here acting like they want one thing and acting like they're down with the get down. And then when it's time to get down with the get down, you want to switch it up. So her whole like, oh yeah, Jenna, better watch out. There's a new lesbian in town. And I'm, and I like her. Whatever she said, I was just like, can we not? Like, it just wasn't like, that's not even, whatever. Anyway, y'all, thank you, Auntie Bernice, for being in here. Thank you for anybody else who was in the bushes who caught this recap review. Again, a little bit more abbreviated than I would usually do, but I mean, we've been in there for 42 minutes, so I think we've covered it all. Still excited to see this rest of this season, although this first episode wasn't quite, the biggest doorbuster that I thought it was going to be. Let me know your thoughts, opinions, comments, critiques, etc., in the comments below, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye.